Hello, my name is Tate Hieronymus. I am the creator of Search for SABE and then a director and editor.
This is Jeremiah Byron. I'm the host of the Bigfoot Society podcast, and I came along for this episode with
with me. So yeah, I figured I had to do I had to do a commentary for the episodes that I have out. There's 4 episodes, so this is the first commentary. So I know I thought it was a good idea. And then this is your first outing, right?
yeah, so this was my first Bigfoot outing. It was a very fun time. Fun fact for the first day we could talk about is how hot it was. It was 110 heat index.
Yeah,
I was actually a little bit concerned about how hot it was because of I have some like special medication I take, and but I took like 4 gallons of water with me, which is great because our area had no running water.
yeah. This is a pretty surprisingly what's the word? It's kind of out there. It's
It
pretty.
was remote, and it doesn't that's the weird thing because it's like it doesn't look like it, but it took once you get off the main road, it takes forever to get in there.
Yeah, it's back in there.
And you're on some really interesting, well, you can see right here some really interesting dirt roads, and it gets way crazier than what you're seeing right now to get back in there.
Yeah, and surprisingly, like I don't know, this is a place I kind of was going to when I was living in Iowa, and then I knew the place had everything it needed for
Hmm.
Sasquatch to be there. It does have running like creek water that's not like the best to drink
Right.
for humans, but for deer, I mean, there's a couple ponds too, and lots of deer for sure. Um, no bears though. That's the thing about Iowa. There's no bears,
Hmm.
but there has been mountain lions.
Yeah, as we were talking about, this is a while now, but yeah, there was a mountain lion that was making its way around Iowa, we could say, and it was near this area.
Yeah, this. So, what do you think of this area? Like when you the first time out, kind of getting out here.
So I thought it was a really it was a nice place to go to because there's different reports from other researchers of like audio captured in different places around the forest, we could say. Um, but it's not like you have to bushwhack like crazy to get in there, you know. It's a good like first time um camping area, but I mean, as you can see, once we get into the episode, it's like did start to happen. We really didn't even have to leave camp. It was crazy.
Yeah, that's like I don't know. It'll show it later, but and I'll talk about it when it comes up. But like, yeah, this place is. I didn't know. When I was kind of looking into this area, I didn't know there was some other BFRO guys that had some stuff happen, and then
Right.
it wasn't until I was visiting back. I think you sent me something about the
Hmm.
Lowlands Bigfoot Research Group doing work here, and I asked if I could use some of their audio that they captured here in another
Yep.
documentary I did, and
Yep.
I was like, dang. And the place they got the audio was probably, I don't know, 3, 4 miles away, maybe
Yeah,
four.
it's not too far away. It was by I want to say it was by
It's
there
by the
was
main road.
yeah, but there it was more near a body of water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so this is night one. I mean, look at that. It doesn't look like a very big fort. It looks huge in the on the drone, but
Yeah. So this is crazy because you took a nap first. and then to spend, to get us to the nighttime. And I was sitting around the campfire, and I was pretty sure that I had heard something. I was looking at my phone, and then I heard what I thought was a knock to my left. We kind of talked me through that I might have just been a little bit too focused on Bigfoot on the brain for that one.
Yeah, because that's a good tendency that's a tendency that does happen the first time.
Because I was amped, dude.
So yeah, because like people don't realize, especially if you're new to like the field, like it's one thing just really being into it, interviewing, doing interviews and stuff, but it's another thing getting out in the field for the first time, like that.
Yeah.
And then like after everything you've learned from podcasting, like for interviewing Bigfoot researchers,
right?
It's like, oh man, I'm out here and I might be hearing stuff, but sometimes there's like more of a distinction in the activity that happens when it's Bigfoot related versus not. I don't know if you can agree with that one.
Oh yeah. And then you started to do some wood knocks here with your bat.
Fleet Foxes representing. That's a great band.
Yep.
So what's funny is this is so the way the episodes came out, it was Iowa, California, Washington, and Idaho. But in reality, I filmed it California, Washington, Idaho, then Iowa.
Yeah, that's a big behind the scenes thing. So people have to realize that this episode is actually the last one before you started. You went back to your home base.
Yeah, and so like I've already been traveling for almost a whole month, so
exactly. This is this after when we heard that tree pushed over? I'm trying to remember.
No, that was the next night.
Okay.
Yeah, that was.
Oh, that's right. We're still on the first. Oh man, that first night. Yeah. The second night is when stuff gets wild. Yeah.
And that's what we didn't know either. And this is just how Bigfooting goes.
Right.
And our plan was, I think our plan was later on to do some hiking and stuff, but there was that storm that kind of rolled in.
Yep. As we'll see in a few minutes, man, we almost just got taken out. It
was really close. Yeah, it was really close.
Yeah. Almost. The radar almost looked like tornado stuff. Right.
It was the weather for it.
Yeah.
It was definitely weather for it.
It was bad. But fingers crossed, and we got through it. It actually went. I think it went around us, from what I remember. But
yeah, we went unscathed. So
we did. The tent made it through.
Man, my car has just so much crap on it. It has that sleeping mat on the back.
I was messing around on my phone.
By the way, I don't have that car anymore. I'm kind of sad. I got a new car. And I miss the Honda.
To a better model. If there was like a frame of vision,
I miss the Honda. I have so many good memories in that thing.
You can like hear out of the side of your vision. Yeah, the first time I remember I met you at the grocery store. Before we traveled over to the area, and you were by a gas station, and you had liquid pouring out of the back of your vehicle, and I was like, hey, there's gas pouring out of the back of your vehicle. And he was like, don't worry, dude, it's just I didn't know he had a cooler built into the back of his truck bed, and he was just draining the water out of it. But I was like, you're gonna blow up, dude.
So yeah, the Honda. So some people might know this, but the Honda Ridgelines. If you open up the tailgate, literally in the bed is like where the spare tire is,
right?
Like a built-in cooler. It doesn't insulate really well, so I had a cooler inside the cooler, and I was draining the cooler that was inside the cooler. That's so confusing. So because the ice was just getting melted, I need to get more ice.
Exactly. It was hot out. Hot stuff.
So yeah, just kind of looking through the therm on this one and seeing what we could see, and didn't see much, unfortunately. You can see how well the trees are lit up. This is with a FLIR Scott TK.
Okay.
It's the same exact FLIR or FLIR that I use that I use to film that Bigfoot encounter in Southern California.
Your famous thermal from Southern California. People need to check that out if they haven't.
There's a storm rolling.
Famous. Yeah, you can.
Come on.
I think really top left of the screen, you can see lightning here in a second. So
we're looking at the
We're
seeing
just watch.
Hearing thunder, actually.
It was so
right
hot.
there. There it is.
Saw that on camera just now. There was
I pointed it out.
Crazy hot.
We're looking on the radar.
Yeah, you can see we're sweating and everything.
Yeah, and like we had your friends come over, and we had like a mini cookout. You made your burgers, and I remember I was playing badminton and felt like I was just gonna drop, like pass out, because it was so stinking hot, dude.
So so it's funny. People ask about the man, you're filming really blurry. I'm like, no, I had to do that on purpose.
Yeah, we would have given away the spot.
So there's like different apps you can use. Well, I edited a lot of things. I use like a program or an app or whatever you want to call it.
Oh yeah, big time.
I couldn't find the one with like the circle, blur to kind of blur everything up.
Okay.
So I had to kind of just blur the whole screen, which it worked out.
Yeah, it did.
So yeah, just kind of. I think that was the end of our night because we were like, let's just take it easy and not.
Yep. Just kind of get through the storm.
So.
And it was so hot. It was like, dude, can you imagine if we had decided to go out when there was going to be a storm and it was 110 heat index? Not a smart move, I think.
No.
It would not have been smart.
Probably do a few more knocks in camp. Hopefully something comes in and checks us out while we're sleeping.
And I think you're doing some more knocks before.
Yeah, before bed. Because I think I just wanted to get some knocks because I didn't have my tent. And so you were in a tent. So it's funny because I think I pointed out, I was like, well, if we get anything, I'll be able to see it, and then you'll be able to hear it. But I don't know what's scarier, hearing or seeing.
For sure.
Right.
I think it's both equally scary.
I think it depends on what you're hearing too.
Hear anything tonight? So.
A bipedal humanoid figure messing with you.
Yeah. Okay, so you're getting ready to.
I don't know. I'd almost rather hear that than see it. You know what I'm saying?
If anything walks around camp tonight or knocks back, we'll hear it. If it wakes
I've been watching a lot of different Bigfoot related videos, and it's just like
I'm sleeping in my car, so
I can't imagine actually seeing that. That's got to mess with you, dude, big time. Actually seeing something with your eyes.
I've thought about it, and it's like, I don't know. I think I'm trying to mentally prepare for that if it does happen. Because I know I'm going to see this 8-foot tall, ape-looking man thing. That's going to be freaky.
Oh, yeah.
And nothing came around camp for the rest of the night. But as Tate and Jeremiah sat around waiting...
Yeah, it was...
All right, so here's a great shot of our campsite. So you can see both our cars. We got a little campfire going. It's Sunday, so we're just kind of chilling out around campsite, just waiting for it to get dark again.
Oh yeah. So yeah, night 2. This was the second night.
A lot cooler. It's a lot cooler, which is important.
It was surprisingly cold too.
Yeah.
Down to the point you were wanting to have a blanket.
Yeah. So animals were starting to move around again for sure.
Oh, this is so.
And we're talking.
Literally right before this, right before you see me talking right now.
Seconds after this, and this, I'm not joking, this is always how
we had a tree pushed over, and we had things recording, but we stopped recording.
Over there,
we did not get the tree getting pushed over on audio, and it was so loud too.
The rest is wood.
Yeah, it was ridiculously loud. and we kind of say it here, but you did thought it was like fireworks.
I thought it was as to me it was loud as a firework. That was my gut reaction. It was crazy loud.
It's like, this is a firework, man. And I'm like, dude, it was only one,
Not
and
out here.
and there wasn't any houses nearby for anybody to do it. It sounded loud and close, and
healthy branch.
there is a road out there a little bit, but it's a gnarly road.
Chances are a tree could have fallen over at that time.
At that, like,
exact time.
2 seconds after we stopped recording everything.
Yeah, this was the beginning of when things started to get interesting.
That was cool.
For sure.
If that's what we're looking for.
Yeah, dude, it was. I don't.
So now my recorder is staying on all night long.
Yeah.
I hope, like, I don't know if that. I don't think that was a deer.
We'll see what we get.
I kind of mentioned it. I think saying that was probably a deer jumping through the brush or going through the brush, but
I'm gonna point the camera that direction.
But that doesn't make sense.
See if we can get any audio.
I mean, yeah, it does make sense, but the knocks that follow after,
Mm-hmm.
So what was doing that? I know a deer wasn't just kicking a tree one time.
No, definitely not.
It wasn't pine cones falling, because I think we got a few unsolicited knocks.
You thought it was fireworks.
That you captured later on that night.
Exactly.
So, I don't know, man.
With fireworks.
I really think they were there that night, honestly. And there was nobody.
Oh, absolutely.
There was nobody else with us that night. Nobody else in
No,
there.
and yeah, that's the important thing to point out. There are not other campers in campsites even remotely close to us because it was so stinking hot. No one was out there.
The only thing I could think of was maybe, I don't know. I've always had this in the back of my mind since it happened. But there was 2 park rangers that came through. One was like an older lady, one was like a younger kid.
Yep.
He kind of knew what we were out there. He kind of knew what we were out there doing, so maybe he came back there later that night and wanted to mess with us. But
see, the thing, I don't think they did though. I think they were just like,
And it was good size too.
Whatevs. I don't see him coming back and messing with us.
So for people who are gonna be like, "Oh,
you really that bored?"
I don't think it could have been him. If it was him, because if it was somebody pushing a tree over, where it was like, we would have heard like somebody cutting it with an axe or a chainsaw.
Exactly.
We would have heard that. But that sounded like something pushing something over with just, blunt force. Just, it was insane to hear.
We would have heard walking around or vehicles for the person that had to get to that area to push it over.
I mean, unless it came in the back way, but again, then the thing comes in. We would have heard somebody cutting a tree down all day with an axe or something like that, or a chainsaw. We would have heard that because it was close enough.
Yeah.
And that sounded pretty thick.
I heard it in California and in Florida.
Here's another piece of advice. If you're going out and doing this, and you have an audio recorder, your phone, don't have your phone next to the audio recorder because it messes with it. That happened to me. Have your phone away from the audio recorder. Oh, this is when we heard the...
We heard the knock, and then just a few seconds later. So it's funny because, like, in the video, you hear the knock, right?
Yep.
But I never say we heard it. You just say I got it on my audio. That's what you said.
Right.
And I was trying to play dumb like I didn't hear it. So that was I was trying to
heard it.
Yeah, we both heard it, and like I was trying to be strategize. I was trying to strategize and play dumb, like, oh, I didn't hear it, but.
I remember how crazy it was. You did the knock, and then it was like really quick afterwards. There was a response, and I was like, wow, that is nuts.
And again, it's the calmest.
That just blew me away.
Yeah, and I think the other thing is it may not have been a person because we would have heard them walking around, or seen lights that close to us because that knock was right off to our right directly.
At least a mile.
I think about it, how close it was, how close it sounded in those woods.
Maybe 100 yards.
Activity here.
That was nuts, dude.
There's no point in walking the road because if there is activity here right now.
The one regret I have from this camping trip is not playing the baby crying audio. Shannon was like, you should just do it. And I was like, nah, I'm not doing it.
The only one regret that I have is missing that tree getting pushed over.
I know.
I kick myself every day over that.
That would have been cool to get on audio.
So we got coyotes going off behind us.
We did have coyotes.
They're pretty close. So.
And they were going off all night because I had my recorder going all night after this. I had 7 hours of audio, and there were coyotes off and on all through the night. They were pretty good. They were going at it.
It's so weird.
Mm-hmm.
I think so. I think while we were awake, we only got that scream I do.
Yep.
We only got that tree getting pushed over, and then that knock while we were awake.
Yeah.
And then it kind of stopped after that. And so, because I think our original plan was to walk the road, but I was like, dude, we're getting activity right here. We need to stay.
Like, why would we leave camp when it's happening right here to us? It just didn't make sense.
And then, usually when you get activity and it stops, you're not going to get any more because they know we were there. And so for us to walk the road and try doing stuff, they would have seen us leaving and then trying to trick them. So I think the best approach was at the time just to stay in camp and then do our thing. And if nothing else happens, go to bed because you're not going to get much after that.
Doing some more therm action.
Sometimes the therm sets your mind at ease until you see something you don't want to see.
Yeah, right. Oh, man.
Oh, my God, there's something right there.
Probably do one more.
There's something on the hill, dude.
There's something on the hill.
But ever since we heard those...
I've seen them. They're real.
We were hearing fireworks later on. We don't hear fireworks.
So this is right before we went to bed, right?
This is not too shortly.
It was either a deer.
So the crazy thing is, I put out the recorder about 30 feet away from camp, and we got some weird audio around like 3:45 in the morning, including my tent being unzipped, and I didn't leave the tent.
Closer to us,
that's the weirdest thing that happened to me.
That's what I don't understand. Okay. It has the audio. We should listen to it when it comes up. But like, you did hear the tent being unzipped, but the audio recorder was 30 feet away.
And it was that's a great point.
Like, how did it catch that?
Something did happen.
Okay,
I don't know.
the audio was 30 feet away, and my car was between the audio recorder and your tent.
Yeah, and it caught it. If it wasn't that tent, it was another one, and there were no other tents.
That's what they said.
There was nothing by the table. Yeah. It was just grass and a table.
It's weird, and like people will be able to hear it at the end of this. I mean, it's Wednesday. It was a large zipper. And then the crazy thing is, after this, I was interviewing people for Bigfoot Society. Talked to at least one guy who they had a Bigfoot mess with the zipper on their tent. And then another guy down in Missouri had a Bigfoot mess with the zipper on some kind of a storage container in their camp.
Yeah, it was weird.
So weird.
Did you you were sleeping in a sleeping bag? Did you by chance maybe unzip your sleeping bag?
I mean, potentially. Not that I remember, but I can't say 100% no.
I know sometimes when I'm sleeping, my sleeping bag might get unzipped just from moving around, or I don't know.
But even if that's the case,
here it is.
That's the sound of the zipper inside the tent.
That sounds like a tent, though. It's like 1, 2. It's just.
Yep.
It's so distinct and loud.
That double knock was good, and we had other people listen to that, and they were like, "That's legit, dude."
You had Chris Spencer look at it, right?
Yep. Chris Spencer was like, "Yeah, there's something. Something did that with purpose." That's paraphrasing, but close to what he said.
It was insane.
Yeah. I mean, it was a great first time for me because you were like, this kind of stuff usually doesn't happen all the time.
No, and I was like pretty happy with the activity we got, the potential activity.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Definitely worth following up on this area, I would say.
Oh yeah, Ron and I, we went back out here.
That's true.
But we didn't get much happening because it rained on us both days. So.
And it was in the winter time. So
yeah, it was in the
totally
winter
different
time.
scenario.
Totally different. Yeah. But they're there, I think, certain times of the year, and we got lucky, and just kind of have to keep going back out there to keep looking and hopefully pull up more evidence.
That's true. So a lot of people think that Bigfoot just travels through Iowa. There's like a migratory route in a way.
Yeah, I think they do, and I think some of them might actually stay there too.
Oh yeah, sure.
On a search for SABE.
And so yeah, this was the Iowa trip, and
this is it.
Kind of hope everybody enjoyed it.
Make sure you're subscribed to this channel. And if you're coming here just because you listen to Bigfoot Society, subscribe to Tate's channel and hit the bell icon because he's going to be coming out with a lot more stuff, wink, wink, every month on the 20th. You don't want to miss it. So, and then put in the comments what your favorite part of the episode was.
Thanks.
Okay. Look at all those names. Bunch of cool dudes.